Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about action points, aka AP. I'm going to tell you guys what even is AP or action points. I'm going to tell you guys how to increase it, and I'm going to tell you guys a whole lot more. So you're definitely not going to want to miss this one, but let's get right into the video, guys. First and foremost, guys, let's talk about AP. Let's talk about what AP even is and why it's important. So AP is basically the measurement of how much of something you can do, like sprinting or VATSing or jumping, stuff like that that would use action points to use. So the reason why we want so much action points is for constant VATS, constant running around, and basically staying alive and doing incredibly amount of damage. So basically the more often that we are able to stay in VATS, the more damage we can do with criticals and all of that kind of stuff. Including with running around and getting away from certain situations, or just relocating and all that in between. AP action points are so incredibly important in this game. It is crazy how good they are. One of the biggest problems that both new players and older players make is not having enough AP. You can see a bunch of different tutorials on like the best builds on YouTube and everything, and maybe you guys try to test out those builds, but you just aren't getting as much damage off of them. Well, it's probably because you guys don't have as much AP and buffs active as they do. But I'm here to help you guys out. I'm here to help you guys permanently increase your AP, temporary increase your AP with buffs, and everything in between like that. But with that said, guys, let me get into that stuff right now. Alright, let's talk about some perk cards that can permanently help you guys out that has AP and action points correlated to it. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Action Boy, which is located inside of Agility. Now this is just a perk card that helps you regenerate your AP much faster. This is always a great option if you don't have anything else to use. There are other better options, but this is just one that I will suggest because AP regeneration is always very important. The faster you can regenerate your AP, the faster you can get back to doing criticals or running or jumping and everything in between like that, guys. The next card that I will be discussing is Thirst Quencher. Now, I suggest every single person use Thirst Quencher because of how good it is. And in correlation to how good Overeaters has been recently, you are already going to want to have your food and drink at top at all times. So just having Thirst Quencher already on, which is gives you just more AP in general, is always an amazing option as well. But yeah, every single build that I run, I make sure to have Thirst Quencher, and I even share Thirst Quencher because it is a 1-star, so you do not need as much charisma. But I always make sure to run Thirst Quencher and have that shared. The next perk card that we will be talking about is Grim Reaper. Now Grim Reaper is located inside of the luck category, and what this card does is every time you get a kill in Fallout, it will have a chance to replenish your AP. So if you guys are fighting a big horde of super mutants or something, and every time you take one out, your AP will replenish. So if you guys are using a lot of VATS and switching on and off of different things, you guys should just never run out with this perk card. It is super nice to run around Appalachia with. Maybe not so much in the raids because you're only focusing on one enemy inside the raids, but Appalachia definitely should be running this perk card. So then the final two perk cards kind of go hand to hand together. They are better criticals and crit savvy. These two are an amazing options that you guys should have in every single one of your builds, just for how good they are with everything. First, let's talk about better criticals. So better criticals, the top if you have this fully maxed out, what it does is gives you 100% better criticals. So basically every crit you are doing double damage with this on. Crit already does so much additional damage. It is just so important to also have this perk card on and try to fit it inside of your guys' builds. So then the next one I suggest you guys having is Crit Savvy. What that does is it makes it so every time you use crits, it only consumes 55% of your meter, which just means that you guys will be using crits more often, and with these two together, it means you can crit more often and do a bunch more damage. So then guys, bottom line, the more agility you guys have inside of your builds just means the more action points you guys will be able to have starting off. There are ways to increase that, like with the perk cards and other things like the food buffs and camp buffs that I'm going to get into. But bottom line, agility equals more AP. So now let's get into talking about what all the camp buffs that you guys can activate to get increased AP as well. Because there are a couple that you guys should be looking out for and should be building inside of your guys' own camps. First off, we have Well Tuned. So to get Well Tuned, you just have to go on an instrument, any kind, it does not matter, guitar, tuba, anything inside the game, and just play that for about 30 seconds until it pops up with the little icon. Once that pops up, that will mean you guys have an additional AP regen. So AP regen is super helpful, and that will be active for 1 hour. So after that, you guys can just sit down and play the music for another 30 seconds and the buff will reappear. The next thing that you guys can get is the punching bag. So the punching bag is something that you can buy for from the creator. It is a gold bullion. And what this does is it gives you a boost to your agility. Like I said earlier, the more agility that you have, the more AP you will also have. So obviously, if you find something that increases your agility, well, then that also will be increasing your guys's action points and how many your action points, or how much max action points you guys have at that moment. Let's say maybe you guys don't want to spend gold bullion on the punching bag because it is quite expensive and maybe you guys are some new players. Well, if you guys played the recent Invaders from Beyond event, it was actually something you could have gotten from there that would have also increased your AP, or your agility, sorry. And it is called the Cosmic Capture. If you guys didn't get lucky enough to get that, you can just have somebody build that on a private team at your camp. But that does the same thing. It also helps you guys increase your agility, which then makes it so you guys have more action points and can do more damage and all of that good stuff. So along with all of the camp items that will temporarily boost it, there are also food items. There is actually quite a bit of different food items that will increase your AP or regenerate your AP super quickly and stuff like that. So let me get into talking about those because those are probably the most important things besides the perk cards that will help you guys out. So first and foremost, guys, Carnivore is going to be your friend when it comes to AP and AP regeneration. Carnivore is just super nice for all of that because of this buffs that it gives you, and there is not as many herbivore buffs that will help your AP comparatively to Carnivore. So for this video, I am going to just be talking about the Carnivore buffs because of how good they are. So let's talk about the food buffs that will plus your agility. So first off, we have Rad Roach on a stick, which will actually give you +8 if you are on a team and have your one perk card that helps your mutations while you're on a team. So the first one is Fried Rad Roach on a stick. The next one is Fried Scorpion on a stick. Another option is ground mole rat meat. The next is Mirelurk soft shell cake. And finally, we have squirrel on a stick. So these all will do the same thing that give you +8 agility for 1 hour. You can take any one of these, but just take one because they do not stack. If you take a squirrel on a stick and a fried radroach on a stick, it will just give you +8. You can't get multiple. So just keep that in mind. And then for our AP regen, if you are a carnivore, you are going to want Radhog Burnt Ends. This will give you +20% AP regen and just super nice to have in general, even if it is just for the AP regen. And of course, Company T will work even if you are a carnivore, but it will not do nearly 20%. So keep that in mind. You can use Company T, but Rad Hog Burnt Ends is where it is at, guys. I will additionally add, if you guys have the Mirelurk Steamer, which is obtainable by buying it in the Atomic Shop, this does produce Mirelurk soft shell meat, which is +8 agility. So if you guys have this, you should place it down because it will produce the meat that gives the additional agility. Now let's talk about some small temporary buffs that last about 10 to 20 seconds that you can use while fighting inside the raids or just in a big boss fight. One of those would be canned coffee. So canned coffee is actually located at Samuel. You can buy it for 4,000 gold bullion, or you can also get different ones in the item shop, or the atomic shop, sorry, for atoms. But canned coffee is super, super nice because of how much AP it gives you as you're fighting. You just pop like take 5 canned coffee, and you should have basically infinite VATS for a short period while fighting in N06 or the big snake. Birthday cake is another item that you can use that is a big, big help for you guys. It was just in the atomic shop, but it is super rare. It does not come around very often. If you guys are going to other people's camps and see that they have a birthday cake that is not locked, make sure to grab some for your next big raid event. On top of the birthday cake, another option is Nuka-Cola candy. Whether that's the normal Nuka-Cola candy or the Nuka-Cola Quantum candy, definitely use that as well. I know I do. I love taking the Nuka-Cola candy. It is my personal favorite. But anytime I am at somebody's base and I see it and it's not locked, I make sure to grab myself some. And of course, we have honey. Honey is located all over Appalachia, including you can get a honey or a beehive from Samuel at the Foundation as well for gold bullion. So those are all some temporary food buffs that you guys can take while fighting in the big boss fights. My personal rule whenever I go to somebody's base that has one of these or a couple of these items, I just assume if it's not locked, I do not, or it's fair game. Personally, if I lock something, I don't want people to take it, and if I don't lock it, people can take as much as they want. I never lock anything in my camp, but that is just how I roll. I never feel bad if I take something that is not locked because it is super easy to lock and takes 2 steel. So just so you know, if you guys ever come across my base and find stuff, take as much as you want. It is not locked for a reason. I love to help out you guys, so just keep that as a mental note in the back of your head. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's it for me in this video today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope I helped you guys at least help increase your AP as well. AP is just such an important part of the game, and you should really try to maximize how much AP you guys have while running around Appalachia or inside the raids. I would say it is more useful inside the raids because of how much VATSing and all of that stuff you do inside the raids, but it is always nice just for running around inside or outside of the raids as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to check out some of my other videos that can help you guys with your raids or whatever. I have plenty of builds on there for new players, old players, and everything in between. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I appreciate all the support everybody has been giving me recently. It has meant so much to me, and I appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.